Hello everyone, this is John from Mega Tactical and Survival in West Central Idaho, and today's video is going to be on using a vacuum sealer for those of you who are not familiar with it, and how to use oxygen absorbers to place in your food, and also show you some other uses for the vacuum sealer. And this is a first aid kit and how you can use this on other items other than just food. So this is really awesome when you got items you're putting in a backpack, bug out bag, whatever, and it's items you don't want to get wet. So we'll jump on the vacuum sealer and I'll show you how to use it. So for those who've never used one of these before, it's an awesome item to add to your preps and your bug out gear. So keep watching and I'll show you how to use it. Okay folks, we're back with the Sealameal vacuum bag sealer, and you can get this particular model probably around close to 50 bucks. It does come with a few extra attachments, vacuum hoses and such for doing different types of containers. What we're going to use here are the Food Saver 11-inch by 10-foot rolls, and sometimes you can get pretty good deals on these. You can get 2 rolls for, oh man, probably almost 10 bucks. And I'm going to show you some of the items real quick that I've used this for. And what I've got here is dehydrated milk, and this was actually came from a can of Thrive. And what I've got inside, I cut the label out and put the label inside with the dehydrated milk, and as you can see, this is all the air is out of it. I mean, it works great. So if you've opened, say if you've opened a can of this or any other kind of dehydrated food, or even for the instance of, say you open a box of graham crackers for instance, and you decide, well, I'm not going to use them all, I don't want them to go stale, you can vacuum seal them in a bag. Any unused portions you don't use, you can put into one of these vacuum seal bags, and it dramatically increases the life of your food. You can barely see it inside. Here is an oxygen absorber, and you know, I can't give a definite date as far as how long this will help preserve this, but I can guarantee you it's probably, I mean, well over a year or so if there's no air and no light getting to it. So if you've got this stored somewhere in a nice, cool, dry, dark place, you know, wherever, it's going to help extend it for, you know, almost probably an indefinite amount of time, as long as the air and nothing can get to it. Same thing, you know, with the crackers. As you can see here, I've got an oxygen absorber inside of it, and the oxygen absorber, for those of you who don't know, removes any remaining oxygen inside the package. So whatever the vacuum sealer itself doesn't get out, the oxygen absorber takes out itself. And that will almost make these last indefinitely. And what you can do as well too, you know, if you decide, well, you know, I'm going to take a package of these out, take a knife, cut along the top edge, get out what you're going to use, put this back into the sealer and reseal it. That's why I've left a little bit of extra material over the top of this. That way I can get in and out of it, reseal it when I need to. I'll leave the oxygen absorber inside of it. That way it's going to remove any leftover oxygen inside of it. And I mean, these are almost like the old style MREs. I mean, it's like a brick once you get all the oxygen out of it, all the air. Some more uses for this other than just food. For instance, here I've got a small first aid kit that I keep in my gear, and the nice thing about putting this in the vacuum seal bags is that it compresses it down, removes the oxygen out of it, takes the air out, and compresses it, so you've got an item that's going to take up less room in your gear. If you look at this roll of gauze, I mean, it compresses the roll of gauze down because it sucks all the air out of it, so this is probably half the size of what it was beforehand. and waterproofs it, keeps the water out of it, so if your bag gets wet or dunked in the river or whatever, I mean, your gear inside is going to stay dry. So that's another option there. First aid equipment. MREs. Say if you get into MREs or you're building your own MREs, you can actually take packages of the contents from the MRE pack and put several items in there, matches, whatever, and make basically almost like your own MRE. It's airtight, it's got all the air removed out of it, and it's sealed up, and it's compressed this down to where it's way smaller, so you're saving a lot of room in your pack. So there's another option. Clothing. I've got one in my bug out bag that's got a couple shirts in it, and it was a bigger bag that I left pretty good size, you know, to accommodate the shirts. But like this is a pair of socks. You can put clothing inside of this, remove the air from it, seal it tight, and then you've got waterproof containers for your clothing. That way if you get, like I said, you get dunked in the water, you don't have to worry about your gear getting totally soaked and ruined. And also, once again, it removes the air from the material itself, shrinks it down, so this is taking up less room in your pack. That means you'll be able to carry more items because it's been compressed down. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you guys how to use this. And like I said, these machines are about 50 bucks. There's some more higher end versions of this, and I mean they can get pretty expensive. Some of them are 200, 400 bucks depending on what you buy. So what I'll do is I'll show you this, and what we'll do, we'll open a can of these Thrive blueberries. And by the way, these are awesome straight out of the can. You don't have to rehydrate these. You can just eat them straight out of the can. They're awesome. I used to be a dealer for this. I haven't done it in a while, but their products are awesome. Now, I'll show you how to use the machine itself. Make sure I got everything in here. Alright. First off, you've got this heat tape right through here. That's going to be the final phase of using the machine. First thing to do is put it in. You've got a length of bag here. You want to come in and seal the end of that bag. So what you're doing, you're putting this edge of this material a little bit past and above toward the inside of this heat strip. Bring the lid down. Then hold it. Green light will come on, and then the red light will come on to sealing it. It only takes a second. Release the air off of it. Now you've got a perfectly sealed bag on the end here. And this is probably, let me look here, so we got about 3.6 ounces, so I'm going to leave this bag probably a little bit bigger than what I need it. That way I can get in and out of it if I need to. And always reseal it back. So yeah, we'll probably cut it about here. So on the size of the bag, it's going to depend on what you're putting in it. You can take these, so you can cut this down the middle, seal the edges of it, and make smaller bags that are half the size for, you know, smaller items you've got. I've stored ammunition in these. I've put I mean, all kinds of stuff in them. So it kind of, the possibilities are kind of up to you depending on what you want to put in them. And throw some of these in here. I'm going to keep some in my mouth to eat, so these things are awesome. And it does come with an oxygen absorber inside the container. And what we're going to do, instead of opening a new pack, which I got a package of those here, I'll show you too. I'll show you how to store your oxygen absorbers to where you get the maximum amount of life out of them. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, we'll keep some more out. Why not? Yeah, these things are awesome. Now see, we're leaving a little bit extra above this. That way, if we cut it open, we can reseal it. If we need to get in and out of it, take an oxygen absorber, drop it back in there, and that will remove any remaining oxygen inside of this. Now this top edge, you want to put it almost up to the, or right up on top of that black strip. That way it helps seal it good. Close it down, as you can see the air starts to come out of it. Once it gets to a certain point, green light, hands-free will come on, and you can let go of it. And it'll continue sucking the air out of it until it begins to seal. And once it's finished, just hit the center button there to release it. Then you've got a perfectly sealed bag of blackberries. It's got the oxygen absorber in it. The only remaining thing to do on it is put a date on it of when you sealed it. And like I said, these almost last indefinitely. Depending on how often you're getting in and out of them, I mean, it may shorten the life of them, you know, if you're getting into them pretty frequent. But you know, if you seal it up one time and leave it, I mean, like I said, it's probably almost indefinite as far as how long you can store this. Well, that was the blackberries. At least I kind of gave you a demonstration of how to use that. And now, this is the oxygen absorbers. And you can buy these from Amazon. Is a really good place to get them. And you can buy several bags of them, I mean, for pretty cheap. They're not real expensive. But what I've done here, and this is important, especially with these things, you can ruin them if you don't reseal them or remove them from the oxygen in the air. You don't want to just throw them in a container or canister or something and just forget about them. Best thing to do with these, if you're taking some out and using them and you're not going to use the remainder, reseal them, put them in a new bag, take the air out of it. It'll make them last a lot longer. Also, if you can see on here, this is a O2 indicator, and it comes with most of these. You can see it there. Comes with most of these oxygen absorber packages. And so if you transfer these from one pack to another, make sure you keep this with it. And if there's oxygen getting into these, this will turn purple. And the vacuum sealer does an awesome job of removing all the air, so within a couple hours this turned red again after the oxygen was gone out of it. So a good way to store these when you're not using them, that way they last longer. And these will help tremendously preserving your food. So anytime you put anything edible in any of these vacuum seal bags, throw an oxygen absorber in with it. It'll help it last a lot longer. So hopefully that video kind of helps give some people some ideas that aren't familiar with these things. They're awesome, and like I said, it really compresses things down to where you've got more room in your bags. You know, the excess material of this folds over out of the way, and basically you can make your own MREs. These were remnants from a MRE that was opened up. These contents here, they didn't get eaten, so basically what I did is just repackage them for a later date. And this is way more packable. You could do this with a complete MRE as well. A lot more packable than a full MRE package. I mean, half the space. And keep in mind though, this isn't a full MRE, but what I could do to demonstrate, I'll probably do it in another video. Probably won't do it in this one, I don't want to make it too long. But we'll open one of these up, field strip it, and get rid of this big bulky package, and maybe vacuum seal it, throw it in another pack. and just see how much space we've saved using a vacuum sealer. So thanks for watching. Hopefully this has helped some people out that have never used any of this kind of equipment before. And as far as preparedness, prepping, even survival camping, they're almost unbeatable as far as storing your equipment, gear, food, and hopefully it's helped somebody else. So thanks for watching. This is John in Mega Tactical and Survival in West Central Idaho. Be sure to subscribe, be sure to share with your friends and family, and thanks for watching.